Hello everyone, my name is Arun and welcome to my channel. This series is tutorials on C programming, and in this tutorial we'll be looking at escape sequences. Now, escape sequences helps us to write certain characters for which we don't have any explicit symbol available in our keyboard. Suppose if we want to put a tab while writing a content, we use the tab key, but there is no explicit symbol for tab key. Okay, likewise there is no explicit symbol for an enter key. So in these kind of cases we don't have a specific explicit character for them, but in that case how do we know how do we assign a particular character to them? And this is particularly important when you're writing a program to display the data. Now if you're writing a document, let's say, this tab key, enter key and all, they'll help you to move to do all the formatting as per our wish. Okay, and we have commands to make sure that we can push all the contents to a new line using the page break option and all. But if you want to do this on the fly, let's say, then you need we don't have any explicit keystrokes for that. And if you want to replace them if you want to represent them inside the text stream or the data stream, for those purposes we use what we call as the escape sequences. Now escape sequences, what do they do in general is that they just give us a small substitution to place these characters inside the data stream. So if you want to go to a new line, you have you have an escape sequence for that. Likewise for a tab, for a vertical tab, okay, and for many other purposes we have several escape sequences, and we look at these escape sequences one by one in today. Now first we'll go and look at the escape sequence. So if I compile, build and execute this particular code over here, it's just going to print me hello world, hi there. Okay, now you might if I want this later part of the sentence, hi there, to be represented in the next line. Okay, the next line I should need I need an enter key over here between this, after this exclamation mark over here, so that all the other things are pushed to the next line. So if I want that to happen, I need some specific character over here. I need to put an enter over here. I can't put an enter on the fly. Suppose if I put an enter on the fly, this gets pushed to the next line, which is not what I want. So how do I go about with it? So we need an escape sequence here, and the escape sequence to put a new line or an enter key or return key is actually this \n. So this will give us a new line option. So if I compile, build and execute this, there we go. It prints hello world in the first line, and then this \n tells the computer to go to the next line and print the remaining stuff after it follows. The escape sequences follow \. Okay, suppose if there is a sentence, let's say, which has an n in it, like n in it, and then automatically I put a slash over here. Just check it out how this looks like. Okay, this n does not get printed, but this n is actually considered to be \n is considered to be escape sequence. As a consequence, the n is not printed out, and this e is moved to the next line. Okay, so if you write in a text, okay, and if you keep escape sequences in between them, they'll be specifically figured out. So be careful when you're using those escape sequences. Okay, next thing is that we got this, and this is just another explanation for hello world with an \n. And now what we're going to do is that we're going to look at the tab character. Suppose I looked at hello world and I wanted tab spacing, a lot of spacing between these two words, let's say. Okay, I can use the tab character, and the escape sequence for tab character is \t. So if I compile, build and execute this, there we go. Okay, I'll put a \n over here so that it's a bit legible. Compile, build and execute this, and if you see, instead of a standard usual one space over here, there are like 4 spaces over here. There are like at least 4 spaces over here, 3 at least. Okay, that is because of the tab character. Tab character puts at least a tab spacing in between 2 words and before printing them. So it prints the word hello, pushes for 1 tab, and then prints the word world over here. Okay, and I can achieve this tab also by this method. Okay, the equivalent representation of tab, which is over here, the horizontal tab over here, is actually 0x09. This hexadecimal number ASCII encoding is actually the equivalent representation of a tab character. So if I want to put a tab over here, I can just use this value over here, and to represent this over here, we use this %c character. Sorry, %c format specifier, the characters format specifier. If we use this instead of %c, this value will come over here and it will give us a tab. Fair enough. And now, okay, and now just to see how this looks, so compile, build, and execute this. You see, this one is with the actual tab, and this one was with this ASCII encoding. You don't see any difference over here. So instead of remembering this is actually a much more convenient way to proceed with. Okay, and let's see. Let me comment this out. Too. And now let's look for vertical tabbing. What vertical tabbing does is that instead of giving a horizontal tabbing, it just pushes everything, all the other contents to the next line, but in the successive position. For instance, I write hello world over here with a vertical tab in between. The vertical tab escape sequence is \v. So I compile, build, and execute this, and check this out. It leaves exactly one line, okay, one line worth of space between the sentence, between the words, and then prints the word immediately next to it. Okay, suppose if there is no vertical tab over here, world will be present over here. Since there is a vertical tab, it left exactly one line's worth spacing, and then continue typing the remaining words, remaining part of the sentence or a word. Okay, this is what vertical tabbing is for. And also there are some other options over here, like the audible bell and the backspace. This audible bell didn't work for me, but I guess it might work for you. What it does is that whenever it comes across a \a, your computer is going to generate a sound. Okay, for instance, let's try this one out. Although I didn't hear any sound over here, in some computers \b will put not \a will put a sound. Okay, I guess this one. Let's see. I think I have to keep my volume high to hear this. Oh, I think I didn't hear, but in some computers you might get a sound if you put a \a, and \b is for a backspace option. Okay, suppose you wrote something and you want to immediately immediately cancel that out or something like that, you can put \b. Again, for some reason the \b isn't working in my system. Hopefully, I guess it might work in yours. Okay, if I'm making a mistake, let me know about this. Likewise, there are other escape sequences like quote. We want to write a single quote, but that has to be inside a string. Let's say you can use this backslash to get that quote printed out. Similarly, if you want a double quote to be present inside a double quote, let's say, you can use \double quote to let that happen. For instance, in this sentence, I said, wow, this is a great day to my friend. And now if I were to compile, build, and execute this, look at this out. I said, wow, this is a great day to my friend. And this sentence inside this sentence is actually in double quotes, and this is possible because of escape sequences. The moment I remove this escape sequence, you see this double quotes is taken as a string termination. Okay, and this is taken as another string. Okay, so to avoid this kind of a problem, what it means is that if you have a string inside another, it will not let you. Okay, it will not let you finish a sentence. It will just block the sentence. If you put another keyword, it will automatically terminate it. If you don't want it to be terminated, you put \/ over here and continue further. Okay, similarly this works for single quotes as well, but if you write double quotes and inside which you write a single quote, it's not a problem. But if you write a single quote and inside which you write double quote, okay, this might be handy depending on the case. Hope you get it. And likewise, there are other escape sequences too, like the question mark, and there is a backslash. So if you want to write a backslash inside a double quote or something like that, okay, you need this backslash. Okay, and also there is this one for form feed, wherein this is equal to a new page or a page break. Let's see, page break escape sequence, and that's about it. There are other ones too. There are other plenty of them in the internet, which we can figure it out and use it. Okay, these are the most common ones that you might come across. Well, that's all I have for you all in this tutorial. Thank you all for watching. Now in the next video we'll be looking at the if else construct. Until then, take care.